Okay, so this is a question from paper 2 from June 2024, and it involves quite a lot of skills. So first of all, this question tells us that we have a quadrilateral, and it says angles are measured in degrees. So straight away you're thinking quadrilateral angles, but it's saying for the next bit, show that ABCD is a trapezium. Okay, so we've got to be specific. We have to be specific about the quadrilateral, not just the fact that it's a quadrilateral. So there's a lot of skills involved here. Number one, we've got to think about shape characteristics because we've got to consider that it's a trapezium. Now, there is only one characteristic of a trapezium, and that is that it's got a pair, it's got a pair of parallel sides. Okay, that's the only characteristic of a trapezium. The other thing we've got to consider is that the angles involved in this question are in terms of algebra, so we've got to use algebra skills. And when we talk about the next bit, the next bit that comes into play as well, the next skill, is that we're going to be looking at angles in parallel lines. So we've also got to understand angles in parallel sides and understand the different types that there are. Now, because these two lines are parallel, we'll be looking specifically at these two angles here, and then separately these two angles here. And these angles that are contained within the parallel lines are what we call co-interior. And co-interior angles add to 180 degrees. So that means that those two added together are 180 degrees, and those two added together are 180 degrees. So when we start to think about solving this question, we're going to have to write some algebra. So there's algebra skills involved. So we're going to start to write the algebra. So the ones in green, the two angles that I've put together in green, we have 4x plus 15 plus 2x plus 15. And we've just written that they must equal to 180 degrees. So that's one equation. Now I'm going to solve that equation. So I've got 4x plus 2x is 6x. And I've got 15 plus 15 is 30. So plus 30 equals 180 degrees. Now, I'm going to solve this. So I'm going to take the 30 to the other side. I'm going to subtract it because it's an add on the left-hand side. So to move it to the other side, to eliminate it, I must subtract 30 to make it 0. So I'm going to subtract 30 from both sides. So that leaves me with 6x equals 180. Oh, not 180, apologies for that. 150, forgot to take away my 30. And then this is calculator paper, so if you need to, you can then think about, we need to split the 6 and the x apart. The times together at the moment, so I'm going to divide through by 6. So it's calculator paper, so if you did that, you would find that x equals 25. Now, we've got to prove that it's a trapezium, so I've got to do the same for the angles on the right-hand side, the ones that I've contained in the yellow, using the yellow marker. And I'm going to make sure that that x value for those two is also equal to 25. So let's start off. So we've got a 4x plus 8 plus 3x minus 3. And again, they've got to equal to 180 degrees. Again, I'm going to simplify. So I've got 4x plus 3x is 7x. 8 take 3 is 5, positive 5. And that's equal to 180 degrees. I'm then going to subtract the 5 from both sides. because it's a plus here, so I'm going to subtract it. So that's 7x equals 175, and then to finish it off, I'm going to divide by 7, so x equals 25. Now, because both of the values are equal to 25, then that tells us that it's a trapezium, because both the x values are equal to each other and they both make up the 180 degrees for the interior angles for those two sides of the trapezium. Therefore, it's a trapezium. So they're the kinds of things that the examiner is looking for in this question.